Good morning and welcome. It's another beautiful morning and we are here to make sure that we make your day start well.
Some marvelous moments going to be coming your way. This is midweek, the midweek edition of Wake Up Nigeria. Now, we've been at it from the very first day of the week and we'll be here till the very last day of the week.
Definitely 1 hour 45 minutes, that's what we have. So just chill, sit back, relax. We're going to make this one a roller coaster ride.
Especially when we have people like Mary joining us.
Definitely. Now this,
missed her.
You have?
Yeah, I haven't seen her on air.
Okay.
This year, yeah.
All right. Now this midweek edition promises to be all and some more. I am Mike Messikeno.
And I'm Titi Laya. Just make sure you're trying to watch us through every possible platform. Quite a few to choose from. GOTV channel 27, UHF channel 49, or you could download the TVC app for Android or iOS.
Okay, now you can also follow us on social media at TVC Connect, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and all of that. Let's get straight into what we have for you this morning. You know how we do it on Wednesday. All right, we'll kick off with nutrition. And we have Oluwatosin Adu, a professor of nutritional biochemistry with over 20 years as a researcher, academic and social change agent, and now we're discussing needs for different stages of life with a special focus on infancy and school age.
Very apt for this time. Then we'll be having a DIY session as well. And we'll have Oyin Onoride joining us. She is into hair and beauty. She's the CEO of Ewa Beauty Store, and she's going to be giving us tips on keeping hair moisturized and frizz-free during the dry season. And then we'll be giving you some music. We have Jay Berry in the building. Now, she's inspired by her passion to be a shining star that will illuminate the world. We'll be illuminating our set later on.
How to handle hard times as a couple. That's a topic that we are treating on relationship today. And we have Olaiwola Abiola, a professional mental health counselor, to tackle that one for us today.
And then we'll be having a conversation with Toluwa Wumi, an actor who's performed on several stages, community theatre, African dance recitals, and so much more. It's going to be an interesting conversation. Make sure you join us.
I am go side chick house. Hello.
Yeah, halfway through the week already. Feels like January is flying by.
It should. I can't wait for salary.
People should not jinx it too. It's 11. People should not jinx it. When people start saying it's flying, the next 3 days, now say, we're waiting for you. But I don't know. Time is time, and 11th. Well, let's not jinx it. Let me just see what.
It doesn't feel fast to me.
Really?
Honestly, it feels really normal.
Okay. So I was
feels
still
really normal.
feeling in holiday mode probably last week, so maybe that's why it's feeling fast for me. Maybe
So maybe that's why, because I worked through Christmas, New Year, all of that. So maybe that's why it feels like, that's why.
And then people took maybe almost a week because, Christmas fell on the weekend. So people just took that week. And so Lagos started getting very busy this week.
So maybe that's why I feel
guess
that way.
what?
Exactly.
The traffic kind of officially came back.
But there was traffic.
No, there wasn't.
There was.
So as at
traffic.
Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, all the school buses came back on the road. People sending their drivers to drop their kids at school, yada yada. Kids joining public transport lines and queues.
Okay.
So the roads are a little more choked up than they were the week before, which means people need to start getting up earlier, getting out of the house earlier. Just to get to their destinations on time.
Well, the most important thing, though, is whatever goals you set for the year, make sure it is realistic. I tell people, the New Year resolutions, by now, I'm sure you've broken like 4 of them. So focus instead on setting goals, realistic goals. You still have till the end of January. The goals for me is something you should always set for yourself, but till the end of January at least, set realistic goals. You'll be fine. This year will be a great one for us. Time for the news update on Wake Up Nigeria. I am Mary Bashua Alimi. We begin from Kaduna State, where 7 officers of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps were killed by some suspected bandits in Beningwari. The slain officers were ambushed along with 5 other persons from a sister security agency and vigilante confirming the incident. The NCDC said the bandits carted away the rifles of the slain operatives and their remains have been deposited at the Barao Diko Hospital in the state. The Commandant General of the Corps, Abubakar Aoudi, described the attack as a big loss to the Corps, families of the slain victims, and the nation. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has asked electorates in Yobe State to vote for the All Progressives Congress presidential candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu ahead of next month's election. Buhari, who spoke in Hausa, appealed to the electorate to vote for the re-election of Governor Mai Mila Buni and other candidates of the party in the state. In his speech, the APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu promised to prevent incessant strikes by the Academic Staff Union of universities if he is elected. The APC National Chairman, Abdullahi Adamu, and the President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, also charged the electorate to vote the party.
Allah sai ya aiko da hikima ta katin zaɓe masu yin ƙarya su ce za su kawo ƙuri'a 1000 ba su iya kawo ko ɗaya sai tasu kawai. PVC, Permanent Voters Card. Saboda haka alhamdulillahi duk ɗan Najeriya yana da 'yanci ya zaɓi wanda yake so, ya kuma lallashi wanda zai iya lallasa don Allah ya zaɓi waɗanda suke so. Muna so jam'iyyarmu ta APC a ci gaba da bata amana. Daga lokacin da muka ɗauka zuwa yanzu, ku kun fi kowa sani iyakar ƙoƙarin da muka yi shugabancin jam'iyyar APC.
I promise you hope, sincerity, transparency, revival of agriculture. We are going to revive this economy. You are going to laugh again. But I stand here promising you that consumer credit will be extended to universities as student loan. We are going to make sure your education university of 4 years is 4 years. End to the strike.
For 18 months, the federal government then stopped our statutory allocations to our local governments. We suffered, our people suffered. No developmental projects were going on at all until you came in 2015. That was the salvation moment. We are indeed very grateful to Almighty God that the APC, that platform, and the people of Nigeria.
To foreign news now, Russia is likely to now be in control of the salt mining town of Solidar in Ukraine's east after a month-long battle with Ukrainian forces, the UK's Ministry of Defense says. Russian troops and the mercenary Wagner group have made advances in the past 4 days. The UK says Solidar is near Bakhmut, where Ukraine is also locked in a bloody battle. President Zelensky said there was almost no life in Solidar with no whole worlds left. He also said the whole land near Solidar is covered with the corpses of the occupiers. And that's it on the news update for this hour on Wake Up Nigeria. There's so much more to come. Just stay with us.
All right, then, let's take a quick look at what's happening on the covers of the dailies this morning. Today is Wednesday, January 11th, 2023. The Guardian newspaper has this headline: Naira redesign policy comes under pressure. The story starts there on the cover and wraps up on page 4. 2023 elections as insecurity stokes fear. Federal government allays concern over cancellation. Resident doctors write government on impending nationwide strike. Afe Babalola tasks rich Nigerians, philanthropists on education sector revival. Federal government plans collaboration with communities to secure railway infrastructure. And right at the bottom there, it says World Bank warns of fresh global recession, higher poverty in SSA, and high inflation, oil market uncertainty to distort budgetary assumptions and targets. Those are on the business pages of the Guardian newspaper. That's what we have on the Guardian today. We have with us the Nation newspaper as well. It says here, Buhari, what Nigerians stand to gain from Tinubu Shetima. They will guarantee good governance, education, security. APC candidate promises economic prosperity. It also says here, right beneath the masthead, there 150 nurses resigned from Lasuth in 3 years. Bandits kill 7 NSCDC officials. Elections will hold as planned. Federal government dismisses security threats to polls. Right at the top left, it says judiciary won't be manipulated under me, says Chief Justice Ariola. DSS won't succumb to intimidation and harassment. It also says here, Sanwo-Olu, Uzodinma, others mourn Anyam Osigwe, and a huge crowd welcomes Peter Obi in Onitsha. That's what we have on the cover of The Nation. We have with us the Daily Trust newspaper as well. It says here on insecurity, Knox trail INEC statement on elections postponement, cancellation. We warned insecurity may jeopardize polls, say ACF. We won't accept postponement, says Afenifere. Hold Buhari APC responsible if, according to PDP, and it's a call for action, according to CSOs. Meanwhile, federal government says no cause for alarm. Beneath the masthead there, it says Atiku meets UK officials on economy, security, others. It also says here, I've fulfilled pledge to tackle Boko Haram, according to Buhari. And on brain drain, federal government to hire Nigerian doctors abroad. That's what we have on the cover of the Daily Trust. We have with us the Punch newspaper as well. Last lap, Tinubu campaign mulls alliance with smaller parties. APC looking beyond PDP, NMPP, LP, reaching out to parties to adopt Tinubu, according to a PCC member, Senator Akonbi. No negotiation yet. We won't step down for ex-Lagos governor. Accord party presidential candidates say there. It says also at the top left, gunmen attack NDLEA operatives, soldiers rescue Lagos Baron. NSCDC mourns as Kaduna bandits kill 7 officers. Obi promises to negotiate with Biafran agitators. Entertainers, politicians eulogize Anyam Osigwe as Amma founder passes away. And we have photo story there on the blackout in California as 16 die in California flooding. Nigerian passport falls by 38 places in global ranking, and federal government shortlists 139 bidders for gas project. That's what we have on the cover of the Punch. And that's all we can take when it comes to the headlines in the dailies this morning. Let's take a short break and be back with you. Okay.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Huh?
How are you,
Mike? Mike, did you just ask?
Really? How are you, Mike?
No, how
do
really?
you do,
So when I say,
my friend?
so in this regard, recently I'm more. There's more empathy towards health. These days, maybe it happens as you're growing older. You are more susceptible to vicissitudes when it comes to getting older. You know how it is, yeah? But I'm more, so when I tend to think that health is even more important than wealth. People say health is wealth. I say it is even more important. When you have health issues, that's why you know that money is secondary.
That's why they say health is wealth now.
It's more than wealth. It's more than wealth. You know, I saw this video yesterday of Ikechu. It was like a shock because he has been quite active on social media, but he had this video where he was on crutches and really struggling to walk, and said he was learning how to walk again and all of that. And it was really a shocker because he had emaciated very, very much. And then I looked into the story and found out that a few days back he had this live with Daddy Freeze, and he spoke about how he has been paralyzed from, you know, one part of his body, herniated disc or something, and acute sciatica. I don't know. Sciatica. You know, and, you know, this is somebody who, he said, oh, I mean, look at me. And so I was looking at the comments, and there was something Bobby said on that. Bobby said, so iron saved the wound.
Wow.
And it just made me, it more okay for Bobby, like, Bobby, you said, you use everything, you use joke. But it just made me, and this is, he said, this is someone that says, oh, I backflip, I am strong, I have done everything I can, and everything, but look at me now. These things do happen. And, you know, it just made me think about how some things are quite inevitable and how we can encourage each other when it comes to issues like this, and how we can look out for each other, especially with health, because I feel like that's the ultimate when it comes to living.
So my angle on this would be, by God's grace, may you find a good support system, family support system. Because he's able to make that video now, because he's come a certain level of the journey this far where he's actually able to do his own physical therapy.
Yes, because he says he was bedridden.
Because it was most likely a lot worse.
Yeah, he said he was bedridden, that he couldn't move.
Thankfully, he had support system and God's grace with him to get to that level. We had a conversation a few days ago about people wanting to be alone. So that conversation of being alone, you can't. You need people. You need a support. You need to find your people. You need to find a circle where you can get that kind of support. They will give you the right advice, take you to the right doctors. I have to make reference also to, you know, DJ Jimmy Jacks. Nobody knew what he was going through.
Exactly. That
Nobody
also.
knew. And he got through it.
How is he now?
He's amazing. He was on stage at Christmas.
Yes. Yes. I do remember.
And I took so many pictures and selfies because I was amazed. Because this is someone who went through something really challenging. So that question you asked, how are you?
Yeah. When you see
Call
people
your
just...
people and actually
So, you know, over Christmas, I actually liked playing that particular song by Johnny Drill, How Are You, My Friend? Because I realized that people avoid their friends because they feel, this person, I know if you help with money, this person will bill me and everything. But there's more to it than that. Even if you don't have the money, just even calling that person, what if the person is going through a serious case of depression and your phone call is what just lifts the person's mood? We should also be very sensitive about the things we say, because Ikechukwu could have tweeted something or posted something in a very low moment and people might go at him because he's a celebrity. Maybe he says something angrily like, this life self is all messed up, and then they go, you that your life, and then they say things that will probably make him want to take his life.
This thing you said.
We don't know
he
what
put up
people
a
are going
tweet
through.
some years back. He said, Whiskey, don't forget me.
Okay.
And then he goes on how he says, you remember when Whiskey was coming into EME, Whiskey was his, his fan. It's just life, you know. And then Whiskey actually responded and said, boss, no, I still get that your disco, this, that, I know. Yeah. But he was reminiscing, he was like, now so this life don't be. You know, Whiskey was my fan. That's what he was trying to say. But now, I don't even know whether Whiskey will remember me. And it just makes you, you know, just think, and it just makes you, like, the frailty of life.
There's something
just it for me.
We've heard this cliched term many, many times. The most constant thing in life is change. There are different stages and cycles to everyone's life. At a point, there are some people, especially in the music industry, there's some people are at the top now.
You'll always be there.
Last year, were they there? No, there was someone else. And the year before that, there was someone else.
So, you know, this thing you said, I mentioned it over the weekend. Today is January 11. February 2022 was when Ashake was signed to YBNL.
Wow.
Not now, as at this time last year. Now, a year later, less than a year later, look at how his life has turned around. Now, believe it or not, in 5 to 10 years' time, it will not be quite there anymore.
Somebody else?
There will be somebody else there. That's life. It's a circle. So do your best to embrace those who you love, and try as much as possible to keep in touch with people who helped you as you were climbing up the ladder, because they are the ones that will provide support when you are coming down. In fact, they might be the ones who hold the ladder to keep you at the top. You never can tell. Okay?
Oh, goodness me.
All right.
Okay, all right.
So there's
with that
a-
word from Mary, that was very strong. It
very,
made me
very
remember one song, but I'll sing it later. One song which is very small. But hey, come on, we'll just take a time out now. What are your thoughts, about life, the frailty of life? Let us know on social media. We'll take a time out. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome to the kitchen right here on Wake Up Nigeria. This morning, breakfast is by the one and only Chef Dida. How are you doing today?
Fine, thank you very
Fantastic. You're all pinky. Is this the new color for your brand?
much. This has been the color for my brand.
Well, I've never noticed it, or
Yeah.
you used to keep it. This one, it looks really nice.
All right.
Bright pink. It's lovely.
Thank you very
I would have
much.
thought you would have Chef Dida here.
Eh.
But it's okay. I'll tell you her name. She's Chef Dida. So what are we having for breakfast?
So we're having cookies.
Cookies.
Red velvet crinkle cookies.
Red velvet crinkle cookies.
Yes.
Sounds like a mouthful. Let's talk about the ingredients. What are we making use of?
We are making use of butter, cocoa powder, sugar, flour, then vanilla, baking powder,
Okay.
baking soda,
Okay.
and a pinch of red food coloring.
Okay, so just a pinch is what you need.
Yeah, if you are using the powdered one, pinch. But if you are using the gel food coloring, about 2 drops.
2 drops.
Yeah.
Okay. So of course eggs.
Yeah, eggs and our
Okay.
eggs.
So run us through the process. How are we going to get this
So
done?
for this, it's a very simple recipe, something that I would love everyone to try during this Valentine period because of its color. So you just add your butter to your bowl,
Okay.
your butter and flour,
Okay.
your butter and sugar, sorry. Add your butter and sugar,
sugar.
to your bowl.
Okay.
Mix.
How much butter is that and how much sugar?
So we have about 50 grams of butter,
Okay.
then 75 grams of sugar.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I don't have measuring tools, how can I get it?
About quarter cup of butter,
Okay.
then half a cup of sugar.
Okay, so quarter cup of butter, half a cup of
sugar.
sugar. Okay.
Then we have 2 cups of flour.
Okay.
That's about 225 grams.
Okay.
Then this is powdered sugar and granulated sugar. That's
Powdered sugar and granulated sugar.
our regular sugar.
Is it the same as what you poured in
Yes,
just now?
but this one I'll be using it to roll our dough to give
Wow.
it that crackling effect.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just mix this for a bit. Then I'll be adding my egg, one
Okay.
at a time.
After you've been able to
Yes.
mix this in and they're small, the melange has happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
This doesn't really entail too much mixing or too much process and all. It's something you can still do with your kids at home. So,
So out of curiosity, why are you using a fork to get that done?
okay, because it's a small quantity, so that's why I'm using a fork. So if I'm having a larger quantity, I'll rather use
the
my whisk or
okay.
your regular stand hand mixer.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so that's it.
Well, because it's a small
Yeah,
quantity,
to
use
show you
your-
how easy it is.
But what if I'm like the lazy type and I cannot be bothered to use fork at all?
You can still use your hand
It will
mixer.
not be clumsy to use the hand mixer?
It's not.
It won't,
It's not.
okay.
It's not.
Okay, so what goes in next?
So egg.
The eggs,
Yeah.
okay. So you're making use of 2 eggs for this particular...
Yes, 2
Or
eggs.
is it 1 egg and the other one will come in later?
2 eggs for this
2
particular
eggs,
recipe.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I'll
if
just
you've been
put-
thinking of something special to do for your loved one, be it your spouse or that person you want to toast, you know how nice it would be to have a Valentine package. Someone sends you a Valentine package and everything in it is handmade. Someone said, why are we talking about Valentine when it isn't even 14th of January?
It's next month.
Christmas is over. People are already looking at the red of February 14th.
Yes.
It's pressure. But it's good. It's good. We're just getting you started. People always wait till last minute to get gifts. But the reality is, the earlier you start shopping, the better. So get at it. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to break 1 egg
At a
each
time, yeah.
Okay. You know what? At this point, let's take a look at the ingredients
Okay.
on your screen right now. You check them out. So if you missed anything when we were mentioning them earlier, you can quickly scribble it down for your red velvet crinkle cookies. Sounds like a mouthful, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be really tasty as well. Okay, so the eggs are in.
Now I'll be
And
adding my red food coloring.
the red food coloring.
Then I'll be adding this to my dry ingredients. That's the
Okay.
cocoa powder, baking
Okay.
powder, and baking soda.
So you will mix everything together,
Together, yes.
and that's like, oh, see what the red food coloring does. So that's how red velvet, I don't say that's how red velvet cake is made, but this is how red velvet cookies are made. So crinkle cookies, I like the crinkle, twinkle little star. At this point though, let's join Mike on the couch.
All right, so it's time for nutrition, and this one is quite an interesting one. We have Professor Oluwatosin Adu. Now, he's a professor of nutritional biochemistry with over 20 years as a researcher. And today, our topic that we are talking about is the nutritional needs for different stages of life, with a special focus on infancy and school age. It is great to have you, Prof. You're welcome.
Thank you. Good
Wow,
morning.
okay. Infancy and school age, that's where it all starts. Right. You know, and if people talk about how when the foundation is is okay, then you can build well. So it is quite important. But at that age, the people in question, they don't have, there's little they can do. So it's up to the parents or the guardians or the overseers to ensure that the nutritional needs are well met. Of
course.
What are the nutritional needs for those at that particular age?
Very good. Thank you. Now, it's important to know first that good nutrition at this stage is very important for life. As a matter of fact, before the infancy stage, it starts from pregnancy. But we'll be talking about that later.
Later, okay.
There's
All
what
right,
we
sir.
call the 1,000 days, concept. Within the first 1,000 days of a child's life. And that 1,000 days starts from conception.
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 Okay, so 9 months have gone.
9 months,
that's almost
270 days.
70 days, okay.
Then you now have the first 2 years of life.
Okay.
From birth to year 2.
That's about 720, 730.
So if you add that together, that gives you 1,000. And that period is very important for physical development and mental development. The development of the brain is very, very important at that time. And once you miss out on that, then it might affect the child later on in life.
I've always thought about this when we see kids who have some challenges, and there's some that, the parents didn't have anything to do with it, but there's some that could have been as a fault of how the parents, treated or nutrition at that point in time.
Yes.
But okay, now let's get to the needs, sir. What needs can we give to the people at that age, at infancy stage?
Of course. Right from birth to the first 6 months, the child must double its weight. The weight of the child must double. By the time the child is 12 months old, he must have tripled his birth weight. So there is a lot of growth going on at that time.
At that time.
Development. So there is need for energy, right? Energy is needed for that growth, for that biological process to go on. There's need for, of course, this strengthening of the bone, calcium, all of these are provided by the breast milk. The first 6 months.
The first 6 months, exclusive breastfeeding.
Breastfeeding.
In a scenario where maybe the mother doesn't lactate as much as expected, what can one do in such a scenario?
Okay, well, really we've come to find out that it's about learning. Knowing how to do it properly is actually the issue. It's not that the woman is not lactating properly. It is about helping latching the child onto the breast properly. Helps the woman to breastfeed. Breastfeeding is a sympathetic, process. The more the baby sucks, the more breast milk is produced. So once the child learns, is helped to suck more, then more breast milk is actually produced. That is what
now,
happens.
yes, after that 6 months,
Yes.
weaning. Let's get to that stage.
Yes.
It's quite challenging for a number of mothers and parents. I've seen that also.
Yes.
Weaning. How well should or how do you go through that process and go through it well?
Thank you. Now, as a matter of fact, we don't call it weaning per se anymore.
Okay.
Because it is expected that after the 6 months of exclusive breastfeeding, breastfeeding should actually continue to the next, 2 years.
2 years?
Yes, up to 2 years. Now, the 6 months to 12 months, the breast milk is still the major food of the child. Now you begin to add complementary food. You are complementing the breast milk by now introducing the solids. Now, because the breast milk is not enough to take care of the energy need and the growth needs of the child, there is a reduction. Of course, the store of iron has dropped. Vitamin D store has dropped. So vitamin A store has dropped because all these are not in the breast milk. So the store, drop. So they have to be replaced.
And
that
the
is
kid
where
needs this.
the child needs it very, very much. So that's where we now start introducing complementary foods. And now, of course, that is, like I said, that is where the challenge comes, because the baby is used to just sucking, and getting the liquid, the consistency, that smooth liquid consistency. The child is used to it. Now you want to start introducing solids, semi-solids. Now the child may not take it very, very easily. But here now, that's why I said it is complementary feeding. The breast milk is still the major, right? But you are introducing the solids. The child's stomach is still very small, so it cannot take more than maybe 2 spoons at that time. But most times we want to, force. But we must be deliberate about it. That every spoon that child is taking at that time is rich in nutrients. Rich. So what do we do at this stage? Of course, you have mashed, you have cereals,
Yes.
your ogi. But of course, with maybe soybeans, with some, meat, of course, mashed and all that.
Fish.
Fish, mashed,
okay.
can be introduced at that
Yeah, there's a friend's son who is just 1 year, and I gotta give the guy pepper chicken.
No.
I am like, look, I saw her post this video. I was shocked, like, okay, can he be taking pepper? This guy, and the way the guy was going, after it, is that too early?
No, well, by the time the child is like a year older, then you can become, but we try to reduce the spice. Children at that age should not be given too much spiced food or spicy food. It's really not, because their system cannot handle it at that time.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. There's so much I want to ask, but just because of time and all of that. But what is the best way for parents who are confused, who really don't know how to go about all of this? Is there any way they can, a resource where they can get resources to know how to navigate this very crucial stage of the kid's life?
Thank you. Now, during antenatal clinic, dietitians and nutritionists in the health facilities provide a lot of these resources, information. But most times, it's a lot of women or expectant mothers don't take it serious.
They don't.
Yeah, but also, after postnatal, as you go back to the hospital, these nutritionists and dietitians are there. You can always go back to them anytime to get information. They will give you the right information that you need.
All right. Okay, thank you so much,
Thank
Prof.
you very
It's
much.
been a pleasure so far having you, and we're looking forward to having you, of course, all through the month.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, that's it. I hope you're able to pick something up. For those of you who are 1 year, you are giving them pepper chicken. Calm down. The spice, I think it's about the spice. It's not about the chicken. You can mash it, but the spice will be a problem at that age. We'll take a time out now. Stay with us. There's still more to come on the show.
Welcome back to the kitchen right here on Wake Up Nigeria. Scratch what I said earlier about Valentine. This looks like Christmas cookies.
Yeah.
My goodness, there's just something about the sugar, the sprinkle of sugar in it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Chef Dida is making us breakfast. She's making cookies. That's red velvet crinkle cookies. That's what she's making.
Yeah.
And it's a process. So I was wondering why she was putting it in the granulated sugar before putting it in the powdered sugar.
Okay.
And she told me why. So I'd like you to share it with everybody.
So, after mixing your dough, your cookie dough, you have to put it in the freezer or fridge to rest for about at least an hour or 2.
Yeah. So this is what you see
yes,
when
this is
you
what
do
you
that.
get when you are done.
Yeah.
So bringing it out, it tends to sweat a little. So, and coating your cookie in just powdered sugar, the powdered sugar will absorb the water from the cookie and tends not to bring out this powdered look on it by the time it's done baking. So we actually tend to use caster sugar first before powdered sugar to prevent it from absorbing the powdered sugar quickly. That's all.
So this looks really nice. It looks
Yeah.
really nice. Looks really, really nice.
And playful.
And playful too. So this is
Yeah.
something you can do with your children, even beyond Valentine. Children would definitely love to put their fingers in, in the sugar and lick it. But of course, playing around with it, balls and all, will be so much fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what your result will be, just as Chef Vida said, when you've allowed it sit for an hour or two in your refrigerator. Should it be the freezer or the refrigerator?
Refrigerator is better. Yeah.
In the refrigerator, okay.
Yeah.
But if you want to buy time to make it faster,
Freezer.
So freezer is 30 minutes.
Yeah. Freezer is 30 minutes. And you can actually mix your dough and leave it for about 3 months in the freezer. Yes,
Wow.
something you can do, yes.
So it's something you can do in large quantity
and just
store it. Then you'll be taking it out little by little.
That's
fantastic. So when you bring it out from the freezer frozen, for how long should you let it sit before you use it?
About 30 minutes.
About 30 minutes, and it's good to go. You can start mixing it.
Yes.
So when I saw this wrapped this morning, I thought it was a hat, and I was like, hey, are we using cow hats to cook this?
No.
But it's actually the red velvet cookies. Okay, so there's a batch in the air fryer right now if you want to take a look at it. That's the first batch we made. So if you want to take a look at it, this is it. Let me show it. Let me show it. Just a minute. I just want to lean towards the camera. Yeah, so this is what it will look like. So can you see the crinkle there? Can you see the crinkle? That's what we're trying to achieve. So that's what makes it crinkle cookies, because the sugar has aided in helping it to break down that way. So it looks smooth when you roll it, but then when it's baking, it goes flat. You will see the cookies at the end of the day. So when I saw it, even I asked the question, like, cookies that are round, egbami, but then she explained that it's definitely going to go flat, and then you get the eventual result. So you saw some of them were already going flat. By the time the cookie is all done, it will definitely look perfect. Let's take a look at the ingredients if you missed them earlier, so you can write them down. Red velvet crinkle cookies. That's what we're having for breakfast. And my goodness, Dawn's cookies go so well with milk. Oh,
so
dunk
well.
them in milk. That's bliss.
My God.
My gosh. I think cookies are the only thing I can dunk in anything. I'm not really fond of bread being dunked.
Yeah.
I'm not even fond of bread and stew, like, because of dunking. Okay, at this point,
nice.
we're going to continue with our baking process here. It's going to take us to the end of the show. But while we're busy in the kitchen, we've got DIY. So this is stage 1 of DIY, learning to do stuff yourself. Now we're going to learn something really interesting from Oyin Onoride, and Titi is on standby with that.
Thanks so much for joining us. It's time for a DIY session. And you know, the ladies like to take care of their hair. 2023, Hamatan hit us like this. Bwah, 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 bwah. Hey! So what do we do to make sure that our roots and our edges are well moisturized? That's why we invited you back again. Oyin Onoride is back from Ewa Beauty Store. It's amazing to have you in the building. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you
very much.
All right, so I'm holding something in my hand here that Oyin has put together. But talk to us about what we're doing today.
Okay, so as you guys know, during the Harmattan season, our hair tends to, become very dry very quickly. And then, thereby it's, our hair, doesn't retain moisture. So, I came up with like some products that is best, for during the Harmattan season, and not just Harmattan season. So if you realize that your hair is dry or you have like a scaly scalp, this beautiful product is, it's very good for such.
So what am I holding in my hand here? What do I have here?
Okay, we have a mixture of avocado. We have half avocado.
Okay.
We have 2 pieces of banana.
Okay.
And we have 2 teaspoons of coconut oil. We have 2 teaspoons of natural honey. And then we are going to add like 2 drops of tea tree oil.
Okay, can we go over that one more time? So this is how the mix looks now. It kind of looks like baby food.
Right.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, you said this is avocado, which we have
Right.
one of those here. We have coconut oil in here. How
Right.
many spoons of that?
We have 2 teaspoons of coconut oil.
Right. You said there's natural honey in here, and there's
Yes.
one more thing, banana.
Yes,
So it's the banana part that I was a bit concerned about. Banana in my hair. Oh my gosh, really?
Yes,
So
banana is great for
once
that.
I put this all together, you're saying I should apply it.
Yes, once you put this all together, then you can go ahead and apply.
Okay.
So
this is the tea tree oil.
yes, tea tree
How
oil.
many drops of
2
this?
drops of
2
tea tree
drops?
oil.
Okay. Oh, that was a bit more than 2, but
Yeah, that's fine.
okay. And then we mix it all together.
Yes, mix it up together.
Okay.
And then we apply on your hair.
Oh, it smells a lot nicer now. Let me just say.
Right.
Okay, it smells a lot better now.
Okay.
All right, so you're gonna start applying this. Let me take these out of the way for you.
Okay.
Go
so
How do you
open
apply?
up your scalp into different, hair sections, and then you ensure that these go into your scalp. So by the way, if you have a natural hair, if you have a relaxed hair, and also this also goes for your human hair wigs as well.
Okay.
So you could just apply to your scalp, let it go into your scalp
Okay.
properly. So once you apply, and then you use your hand to, to
Massage it.
moisturize and massage into your hair scalp. So once you're done with this, then you need to take your shower cap. So what you can do is you could dip in your shower cap into like hot water or warm water, just to have that kind of steamy kind of feel on your hair, and then you cover for 20 minutes on your natural hair. So if you
Are you done applying, or are you still applying?
yeah.
So you
know,
want it
just-
to like be very, very well applied, right?
applied, right? So like your hair is all, properly moisturized.
Okay.
Just the way it's looking like, properly moisturized, and then you can feel the sound of the hair.
Okay.
So once you're done with this, once you properly apply it all through your hair, then you rinse off with cold water. Don't rinse off with warm water.
Why cold water?
Yes, because you don't want your scalp to open up. You want your scalp to close in.
Okay.
So, and then after, rinsing off with cold water, we want, the ingredient to really sink into your scalp. So once you're done with this, then you can now wash up with warm water with shampoo. Once you rinse off with cold water.
All right, so this particular mix, once you apply it to the hair, how long should we leave it on? That's usually a question that I ask, because I don't know how long, because if it was a relaxer or something now, by the time it starts tingling or hurting, it's time to wash it off.
Right.
But with something like this that smells so good, you probably might leave it on for 1 hour. Is that too long?
Well, it's it's not too long, but ideally, you should just leave up for like 20 minutes.
Okay, 20
Yes, 20
All right,
minutes on your hair.
Shower cap on. 20
Shower cap
minutes,
on, 20 minutes.
Then
Rinse
wash
off.
with cold water.
Wash with cold water, and you're good to go on this.
Okay.
So
So now you mentioned earlier that we could use this same mix of avocado, banana, tea tree oil, coconut oil, and honey
right.
on my human hair wig.
Yes, you can use it on your human hair, wig, especially when it's in the dry season.
Okay.
Yes, because your hair tends to dry out very quickly. So once you put this, you massage into your hair, and then you could put it inside the shower cap for it to steam up. If you have a dryer, you could just blow up on your dryer.
Okay, so I'm holding this human hair here.
Right.
And this is live TV.
Right.
And I know that this is a brand new hair.
Right.
So you're saying that I can put this banana and avocado mix on this brand new hair
Right.
here live on TV, and you won't have any problem with it?
No, I won't.
You won't? So should I do it now?
Yes, you can.
You actually said I can? Okay,
You can.
all right, go ahead. We have to see this to believe it. So we want to see the effect on the hair, just at the tips,
A little bit at a
So we're going to be trying this out. I want to see the effect. And as soon as we see the effect, it feels so nice.
Right.
It actually feels very nice and soft.
Soft.
Okay, I can feel the difference actually. It feels like a normal leave-in conditioner that I would use in my bathroom.
Right.
All right, amazing. Thank you so much, Oyin Onoride from Ewa Beauty Store. She's always here supporting us and giving us all the beauty tips we need. So, no more dry hair and scalp this Harmattan. If you missed this clip, go back to YouTube and watch it again. We'll take a quick break, but we'll be back with more.
It's the second lap of our Wednesday show, and it's been a wonderful show so far. The nutrition segment has been quite something. You know, we've been learning.
Yeah.
And I love that. There are some things that you would not be able to solve in a child's life if you don't get it right at the beginning. It's very important because I found out that things have to do with even the development of the brain.
Development of
And
the brain,
it's
even the bones.
It's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary. Like I feel like even the the brain is the center of everything. So the bones, I don't know. Yes, very important. But when I think about that, there are some things you could do that could affect the development of the brain.
Hey,
It
see
can be
husband
scary.
material. He's knowledgeable. He's husband material. Please.
Wow.
Applications.
How did this go from here to here?
We are at Continental Way, just up CMD Road.
Okay.
Mexican is available.
Yeah. But then Chef Dida and of course Mary are getting ready. What now? Cookies? Is it cookies? What are you guys doing?
Getting ready, Abi. We've almost finished it.
You have almost finished?
Not even finished cooking, no.
I beg,
Finished
throw one
eating
here,
it.
throw one here, throw one
Throw
here.
one here, yeah. Let's throw him wrong.
Throw one here, throw one here.
Throw one.
Please, mouth, throw one
Okay,
here.
but what
He
are you guys
likes it too
doing?
much.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Just-
we're making red velvet crinkle cookies.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, so the crinkly parts, you will see it at the end of the show, you will understand it better. So don't be deceived by these balls you're seeing here, because what the end result will be will absolutely blow your mind. The red velvet balls here is what I'm talking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you better keep tight hold on those crinkly balls there. We're going to be back
I wanted to
in the
give.
kitchen
I wanted to give.
very soon to
It's
taste them.
actually in my mind. It's 5 fingers I'm giving to somebody
Wow.
there. But let me just give you 2. But actually, my mind is 5.
Please,
I
I'm
want to
not
give you.
here.
Wow,
Hey,
man.
come on. My name is Mike Mesikeno.
And I'm Titi Lara Oyinson. We have quite a bit still coming your way. We're having a relationship conversation very, very soon. And we're looking into how to handle hard times as a couple. Olaiwola Abiola is going to be here. He's a professional mental health counselor with a specialization in relationship and marriage counseling. Yeah, of course, we have a musical performance coming your way very, very soon. Jay Berry is going to be brightening up our set in a bit.
Toluwa Wumi will be our final guest, an actor who has performed in several stage plays, community theater, and African dance recitals.
Yeah, something that comes with January is award season abroad.
Yeah.
And the Golden Globes just happened. So we got word sometime last week that Eddie Murphy was going to receive the Cecil B. DeMille's Cecil B. DeMille Award, which is an award recognizing basically lifetime achievements when it comes to actors. And guess who got it? Eddie Murphy. Why? Because he is just the GOAT when it comes to stage performing, stand-up comedy, acting, movie production.
What
Goat.
is it,
This
Mike?
goat, they've used goat too
Nah,
much.
Yes, well,
We don't know.
but
Some can be
so
chicken.
he
Not
proved
everything's
it.
goat.
That's what's dreaming. He proved it even at the event. He gave
You know, just
a
as
joke.
an aside, I just want to say something regarding these goats he said. So, you know, there's the EGOT here.
Okay,
I was
yeah.
thinking sometime that why don't they just change it to goats to like
wow.
GOTE instead of EGOT?
EGOT.
But that's
EGOT
as an
is-
aside.
I mean, how many people have the EGOT? I think
Few
only
people.
They're not up. They're up to 5.
Yeah.
I think 2 that John Legend is 1.
Yeah.
That is the
Emmys,
overall Emmys, the Grammys, and all
the
that. But then talking about the Golden Globes, yeah, it's not.
She was
as-
about to say something about
Eddie Murphy's
Murphy.
joke.
Sorry.
So last year, was it last year that the Will Smith
Yes,
slap
yes.
incident happened?
Was that
No,
a joke?
it's
That was
it wasn't a
for
slap,
me. For
it was
me,
just-
for me, that was a whack joke.
It wasn't a
It
slap?
wasn't a slap. It was just.
But I'm just saying,
me, it was a
it's
whack
been a
joke.
year. It took a while
It wasn't
for
whack
people
joke.
Pun intended.
to joke about it. But the GOAT himself used an international event
But that was.
to address
joke-
it.
to
He didn't address it.
He addressed
He
it.
mentioned it, and I feel it was whack.
Really? I didn't
Yeah,
think so.
I feel it was
I
whack.
didn't think
But
so.
then, you
Titi,
know-
what did he say exactly?
Well, he said he has 3 clear things that he would like
As
to
helping for his
advise young
career.
actors. Yeah? He said, 1, pay your taxes.
Mind your
2,
business.
Mind your business.
And 3, don't
Keep
give
Will Smith's wife's name out of your mouth.
That was whack.
It's not.
Well,
How
that's
is
the
it?
thing.
It's not.
How is that a joke? It didn't
That
work.
is a
out.
joke.
It worked for me.
That's lame. That's
It-
wrong.
I laughed.
it did not.
And
You
no
wanted
one
to
is
say
laughing.
something
That's
about
weak.
Golden Globe. Yeah, let's hear what you have to say about Golden
Ew.
Globe.
The Golden Globes, yeah, is now they're having their own. The Golden Globes has been a very, very white-dominated award. In fact, there's no member of the Golden Globes who's black. And this time they had a black comedian to host it, and the guy finished it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine when you get the host and he finishes? He said, "Look, I'm only here because I'm black."
Wow.
He said a lot. And it was, but yeah. But we're looking forward to the coming ones. There's the Grammy coming up, the Oscars, and all of that. Yeah.
Alrighty, you know what? Award season is here.
I was
Those are
gonna
great
say, there's the
glamorous
birthday
dresses,
shout-out.
and hopefully they won't be using umbrellas on the red carpet.
Welcome back. And that was quite a beautiful performance there to kickstart this Wednesday. Now it's time for relationships, and we have Olaiwola Abiola. Our topic today is how to handle hard times as a couple. It's great to have you. You're welcome.
Good morning. It's good to be here once again.
So when you say hard times, what kind of hard times are we talking about here? Because there can be emotional hard times, there can be financial hard times, there can be, the hard times can come in different ways and all of that. So when you say hard times, what exactly do you mean by
Well, when we're talking about hard time generally simply means difficulties, times of difficult times, especially financially.
Okay.
Times people are going through issue in their health. Now, life generally is a summation of seasons, a summation of different times.
Okay.
So there are times things are well, things are going fine, but to a very large extent, other times things are also going downtown.
So we're looking at it generally. So financially, health-wise, and all emotionally and all of that.
Generally.
Career-wise also. Okay, so let's get to it. How these times do come, they will happen.
Yes.
How do you go about handling them?
Well, one thing about our times are real. Our times are real, and our times also come when one season has come to a point where, okay, let me put it this way. Life generally, as I said, is a summation of seasons. Seasons come, season goes. So there are times that someone has actually overstayed a particular season. And when you are not aware, not discerning, for example, increasing capacity in terms of, let's pick career, for example. Increasing capacity, you've been in a particular level for some time. Now, a lot of disruptions come in your own particular field. Let's pick somebody that used to be an area cameraman doing movies. These days, sometimes they don't use helicopters, cameraman anymore. They use drones. Now, when those people in that field are laid off, that's somebody's husband, that's somebody's wife, that's somebody's father, that's somebody's son or whatever. So it eventually affects their finances. Let's pick issue of health. At times, somebody has been taking up a particular lifestyle, eventually to culminate in, let's say, for example, you've been living a very unhealthy lifestyle in terms of maybe tobacco, alcohol, and things like that, in a way that's actually impacting on your health. Eventually, it's going to come to a point where you're going to have issues. So what we're looking at now, as couple, what do you do? Because whether you like it or not, our times will come. Situation will come. Our times are times that are not your doing at all. It's just part of life. So when these things come, what do you do? So these are the things that I'm concerned with about, because when in sessions we see couples come, and many couples have come to a point where their relationship come to a halt. Some even get to a point where they separate. For another issue, for example, not having the fruit of the womb. You are believing God for a child, and it's not forthcoming. So what do you do? Nobody go to the hall and say, as we are getting married, though, you are going to have a financial problem. No pastor, no imam, no family member pray that for you. But it's part of life. They do happen. So what do you do when such things happen? So the whole idea here is to look at it that holistically and say, look, whether I like it or not, this season will come, and I must strive. Relationship itself, marriage is supposed to be a platform for companionship. When you come into my life, during those seasons of life, in the good, the bad, and the terrible seasons of life, you are there as my back, as my cheerleader, as somebody that can give the necessary support system. But when people do not understand these things, at times can either throw people, it will put them to isolation or bring oneness. So those are the things I'm looking at.
Okay, so how exactly now? Let's look at it practically now.
Okay.
Going through these times, like you said, some relationships really do break up at this particular point in time. How exactly, with health, with finances, with how exactly in these different scenarios, how exactly do you deal with it as a couple?
No, number one, couples must see themselves as a team. Most of the time, people tend to drift apart when our times come. Rather than doing that, you see yourself as a team. You are not against each other. You are not your couple's enemy. You are supposed to work together as a team to find a solution. Then number two, another thing you need to do is to quickly address any underlying issues. Most of the reason people have hard time is also because there are underlying issues people are having. They've been having communication breakdown. Some have not been having a very rosy relationship. So when you do that, it creates a lot of resentment and bitterness. These scenarios create the platform for difficult situations to thrive. But when the man and his wife, or the wife and husband, when they come together and they have this sense of we are a team, we are together, we have to work together. If there are any underlying issues, let's deal with those issues. When you deal with those issues, it will give you the necessary energy. Because when there are issues that you have not dealt with, you begin to dissipate your energy in different directions and will not be able to come together as a unit, as a force, to address the issue you are going through.
All right.
Another thing I also want to say is that they should also look out for what they call support system, community.
Should I mean outside them?
Outside them. Okay. Generally, you don't do life alone. There's this saying that says kings don't fight alone. You can see Russia today is receiving help from China. Ukraine is receiving. So in life realities, you don't fight life battles alone. You don't deal with difficult issues alone. There are times that the issues are beyond your capacity. So when you have community, for example, some people have community around maybe religious folks. Some have community among associations and things like friends, people that can influence you, that can give you the necessary pattern. But look, things will get better. Things will be fine. You don't need to throw in the towel. Go ahead. Things will get better. Family members. And also seeking professional help so that you can see things from a better perspective. Because when you are in the issue, you have what they call incongruence. You are going to be having negative perspective about what you're doing. Because most of the time, the issue itself is not the issue, it's the perspective you hold, the meaning, the definition you give to that issue. So when you see the positives in the issue you are going through, it will help going through hard and difficult times.
Thank you so much. That was quite something. I hope people can pick up from there. Like you said, understanding that you are there for each other, you're a team, and also outside support.
Yeah.
When there are issues.
Find support system, community.
Right. Wonderful community. I like that. That's something that they can pick. Thank you so much for this today. I know it's always very short, but I know we'll have more of this as the month progresses.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Okay. That's it. I hope you're able to pick something there. We'll take a time out now and we'll get back. It's our final guest of the day.
We've come to the time.
It's time for a conversation. And we have the beautiful Tolua Wumi in the building. Whoop, 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 yes, whoop. So now she's performed on several stages, community theater, and presently she's on, they don't call them streaming services, but they're amazing YouTube channels now, like Ndani, Accelerate TV, that are giving amazing actors amazing opportunities. It's great to have you in the building.
Thank you so much for having me.
New Year. Happy New Year.
So when I have an actor
Yes.
across, whenever I want to do interviews, my first thought is, what character are they taking? Because I have observed over the years interviewing actors that you do not have the same person every time.
Wow.
And they don't realize it. This is the first time I'm actually saying this.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering at the personality you have today.
Yeah.
So is this the real you, or this is the TV you?
The stage you.
This is the real me.
Okay.
Tolu is more bubbly and jovial and loud.
Okay.
But some of the characters I play are very
Haughty kind
don't
of.
talk to me.
Haughty.
Standoffish.
Oh, okay.
You know, she talks like this. She flicks her hair. I don't do that in my real life. She wears heels. I'm just wearing heels for you today.
I like it.
But yeah, that's it. You know, we just never know what you're going to get. And when you get a character, you have to make sure that you study that character and then, you know, let that character speak through you. So if I'm playing a conductor, a bus conductor, I have to.
Have you ever played that?
I haven't, but I really want to.
Really?
I'm fascinated by them because they are.
Can you just do us like 20 seconds? I know it's early in the conversation, but 20 seconds of you as a bus conductor.
Oh, Mama, Twilight. Ẹ̀yin Kọ́lárí, ẹ̀yin Kọ́lárí. Tẹ́ bá fún mi 1 or 2, màá fún yín 1 or 2. Mama! Let's start the fish, Mama. Bó ṣe package yìí, èmi náà ó wà ńbẹ̀. I study them a lot.
That would be amazing. I'm already thinking of a short film. I'm going to find a writer right now.
I'm all in. Let's go.
But it takes a lot before you can just break into character like that.
Yeah.
And I feel that that's more connected to theater than anything else.
Yes.
Talk to us about your theater journey.
That's what I studied. I studied dramatic arts.
Okay.
And it's a tough thing to study, but it teaches you discipline.
Okay.
So when you break in or segue into film, TV, you have that discipline and you know what's coming. So that's what I studied in university. I know my parents are watching, but I was supposed to go to med school, but that's another story.
Wow.
Sorry.
Your parents gathered money to send you to med school.
And you went to study
You now went to
theater.
study.
Oh, get this. And I told them that I wanted to be a doctor. I convinced myself.
Wow. But you know what? You can always play a doctor role and still send them photos.
Yeah.
Right?
My mom said,
Any child that tries this thing.
no. My mother was like, you wa from deliverance. Because they couldn't comprehend how
The switch.
And
it was your choice initially.
It was my choice. Thinking that if it was their choice. But I was like, let me just go with it.
Okay.
To make them happy.
Okay.
But then I wasn't doing well.
Wow.
I wasn't doing well at all.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
And now times have definitely changed from, well, then when you made that decision and decided to go into drama, into theater. And at that time, there weren't as many opportunities.
Yes.
Not like now.
So how were you able to, let your light shine? How were you able to do that?
A lot of auditioning.
Okay.
With this industry, talent is important. You have to know what you're doing. Because when you go for an audition and, the director, whoever, the producer, they like you, they will always call you back. And referrals are important in our industry. Oh, I've been working with this actor. She knows what she's doing. Hire her.
Okay.
So I went on a lot of auditions. I got a lot of no's.
Okay.
But I persevered. And it just takes that one job to just let your light shine. Be prepared for the opportunity. That's all. Just go for it.
All right.
So what is that one job you believed made that way for you, created that path?
Okay, so Africa Magic does this thing where they have 260 episodes shows.
Wow.
I was always the one that would come on set having one line, but looking at the lead actors and how they treated them like kings and queens.
Yeah.
So I got the opportunity to be that lead actor on a show called Enake.
Okay.
That show pretty much really changed the trajectory of my career.
Wow.
Because you learn a lot doing that kind of show.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was episode after episode,
day
after day, you were there on set in character over and over.
Over and over. One from episode 1 till 260.
Wow.
I recently found out that when there's that kind of production, there's the option of monthly pay or daily pay.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And can you sign me up somewhere? I don't know.
And daily pay is Bora.
It's better, right? It's better.
But it's trickier because monthly pay, that's just a lump sum, whether you have a production or not.
Yeah.
But daily pay is only when you're needed that you're brought on.
But most times, if you are needed
too often.
Yeah, and in Nigeria,
they will call you midnight.
They'll take lights in Nigeria. Something will happen on set.
Yeah.
And then you have to come back. And you come back, oh, well, we need you. We need that, no matter what, they're paying you for that daily rate, whatever the actor bargains for.
I feel like
that's what I was actually going to ask you. That which one would you say is better, the daily rates or the monthly pay?
Now, from knowing where I know now, daily.
Yeah. So that's the interesting thing. Now, a lot of people tended to believe that acting and film wasn't very lucrative, financially speaking, but it's getting better. Let's talk a bit about the online platforms that you've been working with. How is it on set with, oh my goodness, I'm sorry, the Indani shows titled
Game On.
Game On.
Too.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Okay, that's it. Go ahead, talk to us.
Fantastic. I can't even complain. There are some production companies that get it right.
Okay.
The standard of how they treat their crew members, actors, how they want their production to look. I have to shout out to Ndani.
Okay.
Okay. They are pretty good at what they do.
All right.
Everything to the T. We don't want one strand of it. No. Make sure the person is almost perfect before they go on screen. So
Okay.
So that even brings me to the project you're working on. Tell us about that.
currently, I just finished a project with Mr. Macaroni, so we'll see how that goes.
Why did you whisper when you said that?
Because I'm still a little bit nervous about that because I know that he has a lot of followers, so I don't know how that's going to go when I'm there and they see what I do there.
Okay.
Currently, I'm working on a film. I can't say the name because I did sign a non-disclosure. Yes,
yeah.
we do that in Nollywood.
Yes,
we do it in Nollywood, where I play a very wicked mother.
Okay. Interesting.
All of a sudden, I saw the wickedness
Yes.
on your
The
face.
wickedness came out.
She just developed that
A
character.
very wicked
Did you
mother.
enjoy playing that role?
No, I didn't.
Are you sure?
Because she's being wicked to her own child.
Oh,
And I'm not like that in real life.
Okay.
You have children?
Yeah.
How many of them?
3.
Aww. Really? I wouldn't have guessed, actually. 3? Amazing.
You're here with your husband?
No, I'm not.
He's gone to work.
No, no.
Okay, all right.
I'm not married.
Okay.
I'm not married.
All right. So, we're going to take a clip right now.
Yeah.
And by the time we come back, we're going to be tasting what's going on in
Wedding
the kitchen.
bells, that's where this one is from. I can't wait to see it.
The question should be, what is wrong with you? Mom, there's nothing wrong with me. As you can totally see, I'm totally fine. Yes, but the real question is why?
Like, how do you wear a bride's gown before the wedding?
I know. I had fun playing that character.
I can imagine.
I was happy.
Well, welcome to the kitchen, though. Chef Dida has today won the baker's heart and made us breakfast.
Yes. Wow.
So this is red velvet crinkle cookies. Dig in. Tell us what you make
Have
of
a bite.
Have
Crinkle
bites,
cookies.
crinkle cookies. And milk.
You can dunk it if you want.
Okay.
This is, I'm not posting it now.
Oh, yeah, I understand.
Looks good.
This is great.
Okay.
It's crunchy on the outside and chewy on the inside.
All right.
That's the idea.
That's what
So
she
the
was
back
doing.
is like eggshells.
Yeah.
And then when
Yeah,
you
and
bite
biting
it,
is like agege bread.
Wow. Whoa. That's good.
okay.
Chef Dida don't did it.
She done did it again.
Thank you to everyone for being a part of the show. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
And we will see you tomorrow.
All right
Chef
then,
Dida.
7 a.m. everyone.
Bye.
Bye.